Welcome to the dark place. So we have explored quite a bit in here already. Let's see what more we can find. I wake up. I pick myself up. The canopy of leaves far above my head shroud the cloudy sky, so it's dim down at the forest floor. I've never been here before. Nailed to a tree, there's a small note. All right, so since it's the beginning of the session, I'll read it again. For fresh strikers, for fresh strikes, unfortunately, welcome to the dark place. We all go here. Play by the dark place's 6 rules, or fates worse than death will find you in this nightmare. 3 red blots mark liars. Food means depravity and death. Tellers of time are sped up by, this part of the note has been torn through. Holes in suspicious places may lead to the undergoing. Don't trust the wolf. The train is the only escape. I hear a distant train whistle. It's like really quiet. I guess the previous game was just real low or really loud, so I turned it down. I don't know. I can kind of hear stuff. I don't think it's picking up in OBS though. It's weird. All right. I think there was like a circus tent that we kept seeing. That was like down here. We totally lost track of that, like the fireworks that went off that one time. All right, we're gonna go south. Small pine cones litter the ground. A crow flies from the east. Let's go east. Big stump. I'm just gonna draw that. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. Stump. To the east, I see a small wooden chair. To the north, I see something dark on the grass. There's a large, dark hole in the ground. It's almost as if no light can pass through. Listen. Look. It's a big hole in the grass that leads down into pitch darkness. I'm going in. What? I'm falling. It's pitch dark. How much of the game... I still haven't hit ground. I crashed down into a pile of old wood and nettings. For a moment, the wind is knocked out of me. Now, did it say small holes or just holes can lead to the undergoing? I don't remember. Hole room. It's a room full of broken wood, cobwebs, and dust, and a light shines down from above. The only way is west. I see a pinprick of sunlight shining down from high above. Amazing that I survived. I go to the wooden door to the west. Go in. I'm in the pool room. Oh no, the pool rooms. East is the door I came from. A tan tile floor surrounds a square pool. There's an inner tube floating on the water and a smell of chlorine. There's a door on each wall. I go to the north door. It's just a hardwood floor and unfinished drywall. It's slightly cold. There's a door to the west, east, and south. I go south. Pool room. My head pops like a birthday balloon. They don't let you explore those spaces for very long, do they? I want to go back in there because it's very, very easy to get to. So it was south, 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 east, east, north. That makes me want, like, that screen makes me wonder if, like, the whole forest is actually, like, rendered. And there's a way to, like, gain the ability to see at some point. Room full of broken wood. Oh, okay. Reading room. It's crammed with bookshelves and smells like old paper. There's no tank. A giant orange guppy fish floats in the air as if in water, circling a table with some cups and plates. It's big enough to swallow me whole. It doesn't seem interested. There are doors to the west, east, and south. Go to the east door. Spicy aroma of cinnamon assaults my nostrils. Strong it hurts to breathe. It's a hole in the wall to the east. There's a big hole in the wall. As I crawl in, gravity changes, like a force pushing me back into the room. I grip the edge of the hole and pull myself out. I step up to the broken drum and look around and look down. I see a room beneath the floor. Got away from whatever that was. Pull the drum aside. Great effort, I pull the drum over to the side, expecting to see a hole in the ground. There isn't a hole there. Look in the drum. The room is in the drum. To the north is a chain link fence. Beyond it, I see a large circus tent and other attractions. Wait, did I get out of the hole? Oops. Just to the north. Okay. I don't really know where I am. But I think I found the circus. To the east is an open gate leading to a ticket booth under a bright red awning. A narrow asphalt road leads here from the west. The road. Let's follow it. 1, 2, 3, Top row is safe. The west, the road ends by a big road sign. Top row is safe. Field, I'm at the edge of the field. Here, there's a giant 1 marked across the grass in a deep blue color. Huh. Okay, I don't know where that is. And we're just gonna get more lost if we try to figure it out. Step under the awning, into the shade. The grass is dead here. To my left, behind the wooden partition, is an old chair and a desk strewn with pamphlets, and a clunky metal device. No one is here. To the east leads into the fairgrounds. Let me climb into the ticket booth. I climb over into the ticket booth. The chair and desk are of rotting wet wood, clearly rained on. There's a pile of colorful pamphlets and a metal object which almost looks like a pencil sharpener but with a square hole. There's a crank on the side of it. I pick up a pamphlet from the top of the pile. Welcome to the Dark Place Circus. Face painting, carnival games, and food. And don't miss the big show. Meet Trimpy Bimpy the Juggling Clown. I can't read, man. Meet Trimpy Bimpy the Juggling Clown. It takes effort. A wrinkled tongue of pink paper slowly stretches out from the mouth of the device. Rip it out. I tear off the slip of paper. There's a faded image of someone sliding on their knees on a big stage under the spotlights. The defeat of the king, showing now. I stuff the ticket in my left pocket. Let's not get too greedy. Let's go to the entrance. I step out from under the awning onto a big weathered walkway. Tall grass bursts out of the cracks. North is a small steel water fountain right beside me. East, the path leads on, where I see a giant red and yellow striped circus tent in the distance. Let's check out the water fountain. I step into the water fountain. It looks like the ones at my school. What do you mean, at my school? At my school? How old is the protagonist? We suddenly get details about the character we're playing as, who has a gun, by the way, has been carrying around a gun with no bullets. There's a large flat button. There are 3 red faded dots on the spigot. Let's run it. Press the button in. Clear water shoots out in a perfect shiny stream and dribbles down into the steel basin. No, we're not drinking that. Let's go east. North, I see a claw machine. Far east, I can hear music in the giant tent. West, the path leads to the circus entrance. South, the path splits off. I see many small, colorful pop-up canopies and booths. I ain't going to the claw machine, man. That's a scam machine is what that is. I want to go to the circus entrance. Let's go. No, wait. I want to go to the giant tent. The grass is dead in the shadow of the giant round tent. Ropes shoot diagonally into pikes in the mud, holding down the red and blue stripes. The main entrance extends north and west. Or the main path extends north and west. Go to the big circus tent. The main tent looks empty. There's a big board hanging over the entrance with letters, Tightrope show at 9. Dark Place Theater premiere opening now. An arrow points north. Sure. I'm shadowed by the big tent from the east. To the north, the path continues up towards toward a theater building. The path leads up north. There's a big building lined with dazzling yellow lights and glowing letters. The Dark Place Theater. Can I inspect the pink ticket? No. Go to the theater. I step under the awning, through a line of red ribbons, and up to the arched doorway, where someone looks at me from behind a windowed box. Ticket? Show him my ticket. Takes my ticket and punches a hole in it with some machine before handing it back. Enjoy. What is it? The Mad King Edward Bast, he says. It's new. This is the first showing. Oh, here you go. He hands me a pamphlet, the playbill. I step into a warmly lit foyer. The walls are red, lined with old polished wooden beams. Tall, gold-trimmed double doors lead into the main room, swinging back and forth as people push on through. Many of them are wearing hats. Enormous red curtains are drawn across the stage ahead. The seats are almost packed. I wonder where to sit. Sit down the front, sit at the middle, sit up at the back. We're going in the middle. Wait. We're gonna stay at the back, in case we need to leave in a hurry. I shuffle between the seats right up here and sit with my back to the wall. The stage is far away, but at least I can see over the heads of the audience. Let's read the playbill. The Mad King Edward Bast. I don't know who any of these people are. Let's read the summary. King Bast hears of a beast called the Torsi sending a terror through his kingdom and sets out to destroy it. The beast is voiced by his brother. I don't know if that's relevant. I wait for the play to begin. A man sitting to my right turns to me. He has a long face, a black hat, and round glasses with a chain of beads hanging down. He says, "It doesn't say, but the story is a tragedy." How do you know? Well, I know someone who knows someone who says he knows the playwright. But it's also in the playbill. It summarizes each act. Well, you said it doesn't say. Whatever. The audience hushes. The lights dim, and the big red curtain slowly begins to draw back. It's a big table full of golden goblets, plates, and big forks. Royal figures sit around the table on cushioned chairs in bright purple and green, lit by a wide yellowish spotlight. At the back end of the table is the largest, most regal chair. Empty. The women's faces are powdered and plastered with makeup, while everyone wears something that poofs out around their necks. They have solemn faces. A little girl says, "Where's father?" The mother says, "Do not worry thyself, for he always returns." A skinny man's shoes clack as he walks past the table in a brown coat and black leggings. He stops at the empty seat. They turn their heads. "As all ye know," he says, reading a letter, "the Torsi ravages our farms and steals away our children, ghastly a sight as a hairy snake with legs." He takes a breath. "Oh, the king has set out to slay the Torsi himself." Everyone at the table gasps. "He will return with triumph. Save your stomachs, for the real feast will soon begin. The Torsi feast." Everyone at the banquet cheers. The curtains close. The music swells to cover over the sounds of the set wheeling out. The curtain opens up. Now there's a young man sitting atop a fake horse. I can't see his face because of his full-body knight's armor, but he's definitely the king, as there was a crown atop his helmet. A cold moon-like spotlight shines down on him as flat cacti and shrubs pass by from the right to the left. "I will make my family proud," he says. A cottage rolls into view behind him. An old woman steps out, wrapped up in tattered, loose garment. I can barely see her face, and her voice sounds like she's just trying to act old. "My child, it took my child," she cries. "Again, another beast, another." Be calm. I am King Bast. Is this how you address your leader? She falls down. Your Majesty, I have seen the Torsi. Beware, it charged as fast as a giant tiger beetle into that cave around the mountain. She points to the right. The king sets off at once. As the cottage rolls off toward the left of the stage, the old woman gets up and runs behind it. The king jumps off the horse and the lights go out. There's a sound of a flame lit, and then the king is holding up a torch. It's actually electronic and looks like a toy. He takes a big step. You ghoul, come out now. I know you are down here. A shrill voice says, Of course, if it isn't Bast. The spotlight kicks on, then it flicks over to the Torsi. It's a huge puppeted contraption slouching over on long legs. It has 3 snake-like heads, but its body has long red fur. Yes, that is I, says the king, drawing a sword. As a voice croaks through the speakers, the Torsi's head bobs up and down, and its jaw turns wildly. How many monsters slain, Bast? All for what? But I am a different beast. I know your name. The king drops his sword, then lifts up his fist. Fireball, he blurts out as his voice cracks embarrassingly. Oh well. Out of his sleeve, a bright red ribbon shoots out. Then red ribbons shoot up out of the floor around the contraption, fluttering in the air. The beast roars and shakes, falling onto the ground. Then the king takes up his sword and prepares to drive it into its chest. Its puppet head turns, looking up at him, and it growls. Don't you understand what I am? It says between breaths. When we die, we become real. When we cannot contain our insides and they spill out, we will finally speak what died in our throats. We will speak at last through those who knew us best. I will fill the air and haunt you. I will become real, and so will King Bast. The king stabs his sword down into the Torsi. The curtains draw. End of Act 1, says a very normal voice through the speakers. Exciting. The long-faced man adjusts his glasses and murmurs, what an odd monologue. I might have to dock a point for that one. He takes a note with a black pen. The curtains open again. King Bast rides on his horse. Around his shoulders he's wearing a skin with singed red fur, the skin of the Torsi. Let's look behind the horse. He's wheeling along the body of the Torsi behind him in a cart. It's covered under a tarp. In a cart, it's covered under a tarp. The cottage rolls up on the stage again, and the old woman peeks out and screams at the sight of him. She hides herself. Fear not, he says, for I am King Bast, and I have slain the beast. But the woman doesn't come back out, so he rides on by. He arrives at a big wall, where a voice roars through the speakers overhead. It's the beast! Attack! A boulder launches across the stage and thuds behind the king, with a fake sound effect as it lands. Nay, fear not, for it is I, King Bast, and I have slain the beast. The voice says, Forgive me, your majesty. A big drawbridge lowers, then falls from the left side of the stage with a crash. As the king rides off to the left of the stage, the curtains close as I hear rolling and shuffling. The curtains draw back, and the king is riding in a chariot through the kingdom square. It's an enormous set, where there are crowds dancing and bright banners fluttering from rooftops. He makes a circle around a big fountain. Reaching down to touch their outstretched hands, the music swells. Why do I hear people coughing? What's going on? I look left and right to the faces sitting beside me in the back row. They look uninspired. Beside me, the long-faced man has his head buried in his notebook. Clearly, this is where the budget went, he murmurs. Then the king rides out, and the curtains draw in. The singing all stops at once, and I hear the set change again. Now the king walks into the royal banquet hall, where the story began. He's out of his armor, but he's still wearing the Torsi skin over his royal robe. On both sides of him are lines of his most trusted servants. The Torsi has been chopped up and grilled and served like a turkey, covered in leaves and spices. He sits down at the end of the long table where he had been missing. His family follows, sitting closest to him, followed by his advisors and servants. His brother stands up with a toast. I bethink to me a time when, as a young kid, my brother pulled his mother's gold pendant from the throat of a thieving wild dog. 'Tis not in my brother's nature to shy from the jaws of the most rabid foe, and never has been. So have your fill tonight. Drink and splendor, knowing your country is safe evermore. He raises his golden goblet. To your king, Kyle Green. The king's expression goes blank, and all the actors seem stiff. Was that a mistake? The long-faced man takes another note with his pen and murmurs. The king shakes himself, and he bows and nods. I, King Bast, have an announcement. The music quiets in anticipation. Then he's quiet again, standing there. It's been a while. Did he forget his lines? The long-faced man just looks just as confused as me. The king murmurs. As he stands there, I notice a dark figure moving up behind him, just out of the spotlight. The figure raises up a big rock. The figure slams the rock down on the king's head. I hear a crack, and his face goes down on the table. His family doesn't react. Some of the audience has been shaken awake. The curtains close. End of Act 2, says the voice in speakers. Read this summary of Act. What was that? The long-faced man's eyes turned to me without moving his head. A plot twist usually occurs at the end of Act 2. Quite typical, haven't you been to a theater? It looked real. Yes, that is what they aim for. It was well timed, I must say, but the sound effect was just a little off. The summary of Act 2. I read the summary of the act we just saw. Act 2. King Bast returns to his palace wearing the skin of the Torsi to a great celebration, but not all is what it seems. Intermission, says a different voice. The long-faced man leans forward and starts writing in a notebook. What are you writing? My critique, first of the story and the acting, then of the overall experience. After a pause, he continues writing. Is it good? Thus far, the plot is incredibly basic. No complex bloodlines, no contemplation of life and death and love, just more props and higher budgets. I worry for the state of theater as an art form. He begins to mumble. Let's go out to the hall. I step back out into the ornate hall as it's filled with a crowd of theatergoers, chatting amongst themselves. They're serving wine across the hall. They must really want this to look fancy. Mingle a small bit. No one is talking about the play. They're all just talking about their own lives. Ladies and gentlemen, the show is beginning. As I return to my seat, the curtains on stage are drawing back to reveal the king lying on his back in a barred prison cell of damp, dark stone in some dungeon. He gets up and looks around, dazed. I am Edward Bast, King Bast, and I have an announcement. He trails off. What happened? The king's family enters the dungeon, everyone who is sitting close by him at the banquet hall. They amble down the dim hall from the right of the stage. The king's mother holds a lantern and the queen is helping her walk. They get to his cell and the brother steps forward to speak. His voice is a dull growl. "Brother, how do you fare? Have you come to your senses?" Then he waits for the king's response. "What?" he says behind the bars. "This isn't in the..." "In the what?" says his brother with a darker tone. Then the king stiffens his shoulders and puts on a face. "What is the meaning of this? Release me at once and explain yourself. Is this some mischievous trick? Brother, you aren't acting like yourself." "Oh, Edward, I just want to learn about this place I was born in. I'm testing the limits. I've heard about someone named Kyle Green, and I want to know more." King Bass smashes through the bars, which were just cardboard. "Enough! I've had enough of this," he shouts. "This is a sick joke. You're right, I'm Kyle Green, that's my real name." He takes off the skin of the torso and throws it on the ground. Then he tears off the royal robe, revealing a t-shirt and pants. "You win! I'm not a king, I'm Kyle Green." The king turns away to leave, looking off towards the left. His gaze turns up, and his eyes widen in terror. He falls back. His mouth opens as he points with one finger. Then he realizes he's looking at something off stage. To the left off the stage. I can't see whatever the king sees. It's in the dark behind the side curtains. I hear a boom and a rumbling sound from off stage to the left. I feel the vibrations up through my shoulders. The king faces towards the audience as he gets to his feet, his lip quivering. His eyes glance down, then back up. "Who are you looking at, Kyle?" says the brother, turning around towards us, looking off into space. "Is someone there? Someone I should know about?" Kyle shakes his head. "No, that's a wall." "Then what is King Bast?" says the brother. Kyle looks down at the royal robe and skin on the floor. He's a figment of my imagination. I came up with him in my mind, in my coma. "I feel like you're protecting something," says the brother. The set rolls away, leaving the stage empty. "Someone who's not a part of this." The brother, the queen, the mother, and the daughter all walk forward slowly toward the audience, all in lockstep. They step out of the spotlight, walking towards us as black shadows. Then they stop. The brother raises up his hand and knocks on air. It makes a sound like glass. Look at the audience. Some of the audience is visibly uncomfortable. A few have walked out, but many of us are just bored. The long-faced man is scribbling fast in his notebook. Kyle says, "I don't know what you're talking about." Then the spotlight shining on him blinks off, blacking out the stage. Something big moves onto the stage, approaching him. I can't make out its form, but it's nearly as tall as the ceiling of the theater. I hear it breathing. "The Torsi is alive, but the king is dead. Can you fight it, Kyle?" Kyle screams and runs. "End the show! I can't do it anymore! Pull the curtains! End it!" As he runs towards us, the lights come on, revealing an enormous, multi-headed dragon. Its head cranes up and roars. He slips and falls off the stage and rolls on his side. Then he staggers to the fire exit. He pushes on the fire exit. Flames lick out from the crack in the door. The door gives way, and he falls out. I hear banging from the other side. On the stage, the brother turns back and walks away, the others following him like puppets. "The Torsi feast has begun." At the sight of the monster on stage, the long-faced man takes off his glasses and rubs them. This plot, so cryptic, so avant-garde. Production value these days. Puppetry could still use some work, but... The Torsi opens its mouth and blasts fire into the audience. Real screams fill the theater. Run back to the doors. Let's get the fuck out of here. That's why we stood in the back. The crowd is trampling each other on the way to the doors. There's people on fire. I'm not going to make it through there. Was the fire exit? Did that have? Did I read that correctly? That it had fire coming out of it? I don't know. When did the fire exit? The crowd is trampling each other on the way to the doors. I don't feel like the stage is the right way. Hide under my seat. A swarm of people are pushing into the fire exit, but every time they push it open, it explodes with heat, pushing them back. It's an exit into death. What happens in Act 3? Read the summary of this act. Act 3. King Bass escapes prison and rescues the kingdom from the revived Torsi. I'm just gonna stick around? The theater fills up with smoke as the dragon jumps off the stage, crushing people and blowing fire from left to right. I can't see through the smoke, but I hear the building crumbling to bury us, like an ancient tragedy. End 19. I like the circus. That was an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, the whole game is basically just a... I'm in the menu. Come on, chill out. It's all basically like a big guessing game. I'm going to see if I can find my way to the circus, or to anything that I recognize, like that was out there. This is different. This is very different. Where will we go when stranded out at sea? I didn't accidentally click the wrong thing, did I? I may have. The helicopter is sputtering above us. The helicopter won't answer. The lifeboats hang on the davits, drifting further out on one of those. It's a way to go. The ship's in the distance. They're sending out flares. All around us, I see masts reaching up out of the water. The ocean. The ocean can hold us all. Wake up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna just see if I can find my way. Three. bed of the hole, which I'm not necessarily going to find my way through again. Let's go east. It's a nice treeless field. The south of the clearing, I see a small wooden chair. Okay, I'm just going to put the chair on the map. East. East, I see a cornfield. West, I see a clearing. West edge of cornfield. Okay, I think I mapped out the cornfield. Five, 6, 7, 8. Here's the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Northwest is the cornfield. The east, a big cobblestone wall that stretches far to the north and south. Let's continue mapping. South. I'm at the corner of a big cobblestone wall that stretches far to the north and east. Crow flies from the south. I hear a lawnmower. That's weird. Let's go east. Okay, northwest is a cornfield. 3 dandelions. Okay, southwest corner, so I might have... We can go east here. Okay, that wall is probably going to go a long, long way. Like all around this huge area. So let's go back to the west, and there was a crow here from the south. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn around. It's a black wolf with red eyes. Its fur is dirty and matted. There's a spot of red on its snout. Press the red button. Then the white button. Red eyes and a spot of red on its snout. 3 red dots. Red button, white button. That's not bad for right-handed. I'm left-handed. With my eyes. There's nothing there. Am I seeing things? There's a mailbox to the south. One, two, three, four, five. Awful. That'll do. Mailbox. Yep. Wait, I have a better idea. There we go. I stumble upon a black mailbox, alone out here in the woods, with no house and no address. The flag is lowered. On one side, there are 3 splotches of red. As I come closer to the mailbox, it begins to rattle violently. The flag twists up and down crazily. Wait. I wait and watch until it stops. Mailbox is silent. There's a bomb in the mailbox. Shut the mailbox. I shut the door, but I can still hear the bomb. Yeah, now leave. Run. I can't run fast enough. And 50. I'm going to read the note again. I want to close it and then run. Three red blots mark liars. Holes in suspicious places may lead to the undergoing. Don't trust the wolf. We went in that. Oh, okay. I think the undergoing. Sometimes we get that the little like rising music kind of thing, and then our head pops. That is probably the undergoing, because it seems to only happen whenever I'm in like a hole of any kind, really. Once I was on the computer and a hole overtook the entire room. Then my head popped. Once I was at that masquerade, climbed into a hole and wandered around, found a parking garage, and my head popped. And more recently, found a hole in the forest. Jumped in, went around some rooms, until my head popped. That's gotta be what the undergoing is. Don't trust the wolf. Well, if the wolf has 3 spots on him, then we already know he's a liar. Train is the only escape. Well, there's just a mailbox. Middle of nowhere. There's a bomb inside it. Okay. I still want to map out that circus. 1, 2, 3. There's the hole. You don't want to go in it. South. I don't know how we got out of that hole. I was just starting to click stuff. Something about cinnamon. Couldn't read it too well. Let's go east and check out that chair. There's a small wooden chair in a clearing in the trees. Let's sit down. Have a rest. I'm rested and ready to get up, but without me noticing, thick vines have grown over my arms and legs, and now they tighten. I can't get off the chair. I break out from the vines, wood splintering off the chair as I stumble away. I'm a little shaken. Sit the fuck back down. I don't trust the chair. Let's go south. To the north I see a grassy clearing and a small wooden chair. South. South. Nine, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A small single-room log cabin. It's overgrown with moss and sunken into the ground by about a foot. The door is already half open. I step in through the doorway. It's dark. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in here. I walk around to see if I can feel anything. It's far too dark to see in the back of the cabin. Can't find anything. The cabin is empty. There's nothing in here. I'm certain of it. I decide to leave. I turn to shut the door. Did I hear something? Shut the door. Leave the cabin. One, 2, 3, 4. To the south is a steep incline. 2, 3, 4. That's not how we mark that. I slide down this dirt slope until I land on rocky ground, surrounded by tall boulders. The west is a boulder. East or south? Craggy maze. To the north is a steep dirt slope. To the south is a boulder. Okay. slope. Continue to the east. East Boulder. South. Okay, ground is full of cracks. To the west I see large rocks. To the west I see large rocks. Like that one little area of A Link to the Past. There's just a field of boulders, and it serves no purpose in the game other than to vaguely resemble an area from Zelda 1. Where even am I? Okay, we're right there. Hearing music. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your path leads north and south, north and east. West and east. Oh, this is going a little ways, huh? And the road leads ever, ever on. North, west, and south. And a crow from the east. We're gonna follow these crows. 1, 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. To the east I see a house covered by a giant striped tarp. Striped. It's completely covered by a giant candy-colored striped tarp, as if dressed up for a carnival. Here at the front of the house there's a tear in the colorful tarp. Go through. Entering through the large tear, which seems like it was cut open by a person. Under the tarp, the house is completely dark. You can see the front door ahead, left ajar. I step in through the front door and peer inside. The front door is blocked by a hat stand and a couple stools. It's pitch dark in the house. There's a light switch beside me. How'd I get in if it's blocked? I switch on the light and push my way around the furniture blocking the front door. Oh, guess that's how. There's a leather couch on a soft brown carpet. The back wall is filled with framed photos, paintings, and figurines. Ahead, I see a doorway leading to the kitchen. I see a hallway past the couch. Look at the back wall. There's a picture of a mother and father holding a baby. On the shelf is a red model car, a frog, and a group of toy soldiers. Go to the kitchen. I'm standing on dark hardwood floor. The counters are empty. I see an old white fridge and a gas oven. I hear something moving around inside. Let's open it. Open the fridge and crack and peek inside. The fridge's light isn't on. Something shiny and black is moving around very quickly. I quickly shut it again. Yeah, let's not open the fridge. I decide not to open the fridge. What's in the oven? Open the oven. It's empty. Ahead is a dining table and a large window. Okay. To my left is a short hallway with green walls leading to two doors. To the left is the hallway. To the left of the hallway is a white door. From the window shines a faint dining table. From the window shines a faint red sunlight, filtered through the striped tarp that covers the house. Chairs are neatly arranged around the table. Empty plates are set with silverware. To my right, a doorway leads to a lounge. Look out the window. Through the window, I see the side lawn under the cover of the tarp. On the tarp, I see a warning printed, "Warning, peligro, fumigation." Oh. That's what the tarp's for. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go to the lounge. In the center of the room is a reclining sofa chair facing towards the north wall. They were probably fumigating for whatever the hell that is in the fridge. Where I see a black chimney and fireplace. Further ahead of me is the back door to the house, but it's boarded up. Let's sit in the recliner. Fabric is worn, but it's cozy. Could easily fall asleep. There's a crank beneath the arm of the chair, probably to extend the footrest. Let's twist that crank. Twist it easily, but then there's some kind of resistance. It seems jammed. Pull it harder. It gives. And the footrest swings outward with an awful noise. Something seems to ooze out from beneath the chair. There's a puddle of viscous black liquid spreading out from under the recliner. I decide not to go near it. The wood in the fireplace isn't real. It's a light plastic. I don't want to go near the recliner. Let's go Back to the kitchen. And then to the white door. I go to the white door. It seems new. Nothing that I can hear. It's locked. I go upstairs to the kitchen. South is the doorway to the living room. The north is a dining table and a large window. To the west is a hallway. The shabby wood door in the northwest corner. I thought it was new. The walls are painted a swampy green color. On the left is a gray steel door. And to the right, an open door leads to a laundry room. Let me go back to the kitchen. Let me go back to the living room. And I want to see if the hall here is the same one. It's not. There are different halls. Go around the couch and down the hall, which is darker at the end, lit only by the light in the living room. There are two brown doors here on my left and right. I go to the door on the left. It creaks open. I step inside. The room is dark, but I can see that the walls are painted bright blue with yellow stars. There's a light switch beside me. I switch on the light. Baby room. There's a closed closet in the left corner and a large dresser beside it on the same wall. Across the room, a mobile hangs from the ceiling with colorful animals and rocket ships, but there's no crib beneath it. The closet is cracked open slightly, but it's too dark to see inside. I open it. There's tiny shirts and coats hung up on the racks. I think I can hear something behind them. The back of the closet. Push the clothes out of the way and see a crack in the wall at the back of the closet. I can't see anything through the crack. It's dark. I certainly hear something. Step away. I guess whenever you listen, it just plays the sound if there is one. Go to the dresser. A tall dresser with 3 big drawers. Let's open the bottom. I open the bottom. It's a pile of tiny socks and a children's book. It's a book about a magical wardrobe that leads to a secret world. Middle? There's nothing in it but a red spool of thread. A single red string leads further back into the drawer. The drawer falls out. There's a hole in the wall behind the dresser. I see wooden beams and masses of cobwebs. Not yet. The middle drawer has been pulled out. What's in the top? A pile of folded blue pajamas and a crumpled note. Dia, I know you're not a fool or a coward. I can't convince you to run, but I can't keep closing my eyes in this house. All I can do is leave and hope you'll follow. Because this house isn't what it was. It's been replaced. I know it for certain. All you have to do is listen at night. The walls are the only thing left. The bottom of the note has been torn off. I push the dresser over to the left. The hole in the wall is just big enough that it was hidden behind the dresser. Inside, the lush blue carpet ends, revealing uneven, dusty planks and wooden beams jutting out from the walls. I lower my head and step in through the hole. The space in the wall is quite large. It's about 5 feet to the other side, but there's so many wooden beams that it's hard to move around and I can barely see. Cobwebs have taken over every corner. It smells like mold. Behind me is the hole in the wall, letting in light from the baby room. Ahead, I see some kind of rectangular shape. To my left is a mess of cobwebs and wooden beams leading further into half-darkness. Let's go towards the shape. It's the baby crib. flipped halfway onto its side, covered in a thick mass of webs, a scrap of paper tangled up in them, with writing on it. Read it. Dia. Sometimes you have to leave the place that used to keep you safe. I know it sounds impossible. Behind me is the hole in the wall, letting in light from the baby room. Ahead I see the baby crib. To my left, yeah, let's check out the crib, which was missing from the room. It's the baby crib, flipped halfway onto its side, covered in a thick mass of cobwebs. A scrap of paper. Okay, we did just do that. It didn't register to me that this was, like, the crib was, like, not in the room. A metal pipe protrudes from the floorboards and into the wall to the right. Webs cover the floor and hang from the ceiling, sticking to my face. The only way further in is to crawl underneath a pipe. I use my shoe to clear out as much of the webs as I can. Then I get down low and crawl under the pipe. Crooked nails poke out all around me. To the right, there's something fat and bulbous. Further ahead must be the far wall, but it's too dark to see. Fat and bulbous. It's a hairy brown and yellow sack the size of a bowling ball stuck to the wall by a thick mass of webs. Parts of it are bulging outwards. I had a feeling that there might have been a spider in the refrigerator. Let's not touch it yet. We continue forward. The cobwebs seem to grow larger and more numerous. I finally reached the south wall. To the left I see a crack in the wall. To the right is a dark corner covered in webs. There's a key on the ground. Taken that. Engraved in the steel key are the letters basement. Oh. Look through the crack. I bring my eye up to the crack. I'm looking out through the closet. I can see the baby room. This is the crack in the closet. Okay, get out of there. Let's go to the basement. Baby room. It all seems more sinister now. The kitchen. To the door. I use my basement key. The door swings open. The tiny door swings open, revealing a stairwell. There's a window up near the ceiling, shining in a faint red light on the wooden stairs. I walk to the landing and look down at the next set of stairs. Another door is at the bottom. At the bottom of the stairs is a dingy, unpainted wooden door. The floor is rough concrete. The door breaks off its hinges, falls down. The ceiling is low. I'm in a narrow alcove. To the east leads into the larger room. It's dark. To the north is the stairwell leading out of the basement. A stack of several large mattresses block my path to the east. To the west is the narrow alcove leading upstairs. Why they gotta do it like this? I'm standing at the northwest corner of the basement. On the north wall of the basement, A leaking pipe juts out from the cracked cement. So there's a large stack of mattresses in the middle, I guess. A pile of colorful plastic baskets and cardboard boxes blocks my path to the east. I'm at the north wall. To the east, I see something on the ground. A stack of several large mattresses blocks my path to the west. Yeah. Something on the ground is covered by a red and white striped picnic basket. I see black shoes sticking out from underneath. Pull away the blanket. I pull away the blanket. It's a yellowing corpse, riddled with small holes across its whole body. Its face is covered by its long hair. Its shriveled left hand holds a blue pen. Its right hand clutches still the blanket. I quickly pull the picnic blanket back over it. -2 reason. To the north, I see something on the ground. I'm at the east wall of the basement. Oh, it was the picnic basket. Yeah, it's like you find that and then suddenly... we can do... Yeah, let's go west. I trip over a low table. A large file cabinet blocks my path to the south. It's missing all its drawers. Okay, let's go back east and then we go south. Standing in the southeast corner of the basement, a large file cabinet blocks my path to the west. Okay. In my head, I have this... I'm mapping this out. Continue. The north, I see a large shelf. Yeah, some of the blocked paths are just walls and not like that tile is not available. You can go around it. To the north, I see a large shelf. A large pile of colorful plastic baskets and cardboard boxes blocks my path to the west. I'm at the east wall of the basement. Continue north. In the corner of the basement, an old black closed guitar case leans on a tall, dusty bookshelf. On the bottom shelf, I see a note written on a scrap of paper. There's something else up on the top shelf, but I can't see it clearly. Read the note. What if I put a colorful tent on the whole world instead? That's an interesting way of looking at it. Open the guitar case. I kneel down to look at the black guitar case. The leather is worn. That doesn't sound like a good sound. Let's look on the top first. I climb up to the bookshelf and reach the top shelf. It's a pair of red dice with black dots, with an icon of a ladybug replacing the number 6. What I've taken to doing also whenever I listen at something now, I just look over at OBS to see if it's actually picking up any sound at all. Let's take it. Ladybug dice. Hell yeah. I grab them. In the corner of the basement, an old black... Okay, so... Ladybug dice. Let's open it. As I begin to undo the latches, the guitar case suddenly jolts forward and back. guitar case bursts open, releasing a buzzing swarm of mosquitoes. I fall backwards onto the concrete floor in the basement as they surround me, covering my face and neck. My nose and ears are being invaded. Get up and run. A giant mosquito zips past my eye, its body the size of a baseball, bulging in red. I feel a stab in my neck. I quickly black out from the blood loss. I feel like in a lot of these scenarios, there's no solution. Like, I don't think swatting at them would have worked. I think they just give you a chance to like flail in vain. End 54. Kind of wish there was like a way to see like how many ends we've gotten. Oh, peaceful music now do we get? I also get the feeling that since we got that little ocean thing, that there's some meta progress happening that we aren't aware of. Okay. Yeah, gonna keep coming back to this one. This will be a thing.